Hi, I'm Randall, editor of AI News, and I'm here with Dave Palmer, who is the Director of Technology at Darktrace. So Dave, you're going to be speaking on a panel called The Future Impact of AI on Cybercrime. So if you could just start off by telling me, what that will be.
Well, we spend a lot of time thinking about how AI is going to usefully change our lives, and we spend a lot of time also worrying about how it might create dystopias. What if work just intensifies and there's a surveillance state, those sorts of issues. But we don't actually spend much time thinking about how might AI actually be used by criminals or people that deliberately seek to do harm. So it's meant to be a light-hearted conversation, but thinking realistically about what we know about today's crimes and then extrapolating how it can really improve a criminal's business model, get more victims, generate more profit, reduce the amount of manpower that you need in a criminal organization. And there's a real variety of use cases there, from things that are pretty likely through to maybe things that are a bit less likely, but could be really interesting if they bubble up.
Cool, so we've already seen technologies such as Google Duplex and deepfake videos sort of starting to emerge. How do you think that will play into things?
I think those technologies becoming commodity will definitely start being abused by criminals. One of the things I think is really likely is a change from those rubbish spam emails that we get all the time at the moment to AI writing very personalized, highly tailored, human-sounding emails. So maybe my laptop gets hacked, you and I have been emailing each other, it learns the sorts of things I normally say to you, what we chat about, and then pretends to be me in order to get you to open an attachment or to click on a link. Those sorts of things, the criminals aren't going to invent them themselves. They're definitely going to use Google's or Microsoft's or Amazon's. And that's going to have a real impact.
So I think on the whole we've learned not to trust text anymore. I'm still having to step in occasionally and tell my grandparents not to open that email from that scammer. But how long do you think it'll be before we start to not trust video and that sort of thing as well?
Well, such an interesting question. We're literally hardwired to trust what we can see with our visual and listening senses. That's such an important part of what makes humans human. So I think it's going to be a real bumpy journey as deepfakes become the norm, as whether fake news or scams or deliberate misinformation just rips across the social media fabric that we've got there. I am hopeful, though, that it will be accompanied by new technologies for identity, where we can start saying, hey, this is a video, and it's definitely been cryptographically signed by Dave. Dave definitely created this video, or the White House, or the Prime Minister, or the UK government. If those things come in and they get hardwired into a YouTube or a Facebook or whatever we're using to view the videos on, then it will be okay. If we don't have those ways of proving that something's real, I think we're in for a bit of a rough ride.
And I guess that's where technology such as blockchain comes into effect. So Darktrace specializes in AI cyber defenses. You're perhaps a slightly biased person to ask, but do you think the defenses are kind of matching the pace of the offensive sort of side of things?
I think we're in an era at the moment where the organizations we're trying to protect are way past human comprehension. There's 900 people in Darktrace. Can I realistically know all the apps that everyone uses, how they touch data, imagine that everything that might go wrong, and then build all the defenses around them? 900 people is probably pretty near the tipping point. If you've got 200,000 people in your organization, it's basically going to be impossible. So I think whether people are big fans of AI or not, we absolutely have to have automation in this space, because you just can't fit it into a human brain anymore. And automation in 2019, that definitely looks like AI and machine learning. There's no way linear programming gets us out of that hole. How it helps us over the coming years, I think, will evolve quite a lot. I think what the defenses look like in 5 years' time won't look anything like what they do today. I think everything will go pretty much AI native rather than AI as a bolt-on. But we only have to look at the news every single day to see lots of organizations are not in a position they'd ideally want to be with things still going wrong left, right and center.
So McAfee's CTO said that at least for the time being, he's more concerned about how humans will use AI rather than a self-aware AI kind of launching attacks by itself. Is that a sentiment sort of shared at Darktrace on the whole?
Definitely. I mean, so strong view in our organization, we're not going to see any form of sentience or consciousness or a machine that creates its own goals. It will always have a human's goals behind the scenes, whether that's espionage from a nation or criminal goal from a criminal group. I think the way that AI will be used in these scenarios is pretty much going to mirror the way that we think about using AI in legitimate businesses. We want to use less people. We want it to be quicker. We want to make more profit per customer, for want of a better word. And that's how it's going to manifest itself. Certainly not some worm hacking its way around the world in a self-directed manner.
Well, Darktrace added the NHS as a customer last year, I believe. Are you confident that you'll be able to stop any future WannaCry kind of ransomware attacks that cripple its systems in 2017?
So we work with quite a few bits of the NHS and have done for some time, including during WannaCry 1, for want of a better word. So we definitely have confidence already that we were able to protect the customers we were working with at the time from WannaCry 1 and NotPetya when that came out shortly afterwards. We can't be too complacent, though, that future attacks look like historical attacks. So we really need to stay on our toes to make sure these systems are covering the whole business, not just the networks, not just the data centers or the cloud as it looks like today. The big challenge right now, I think, for cybersecurity generally is enterprise tech is changing really fast. This conference shows that in almost every area. Cybersecurity needs to keep up as well.
Well, Darktrace itself is growing fast and receiving a lot of investment. How well positioned do you see yourselves in comparison to competitors?
We're in pretty good shape at the moment. There's a lot of people that are bolting AI onto existing products, but I think the fact that we made the decision right from day one to build a native AI system that's AI end-to-end in the way that it collects data, processes data, the way it displays it to human beings, and the way that it decides to take action has been really transformational. I think that's why we get the results that we get. For me, it's very much like the journey that we saw Google go through when they switched from Google Translate being a lot of expert knowledge with some expert systems, and when they went AI end-to-end, the performance went through the roof. And right now, we're in that situation as well. I'm sure other people will invent AI native systems, but so far so good.
Yep. Building that from the very start does seem to be a strength of yours. So that's everything from me, Dave. So thank you very much for coming to speak to me, and I'll hopefully we'll keep in touch. Brilliant. Cheers.